Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on an episode. Welcome back to Oracle Valley, a British Columbia themed city. And it's been a little while since we've been here. We haven't been here since CS2 launched, but my gosh, I'm so excited to get back into this because if you missed it, last time we were here we did some downtown redevelopment. But before that, after that, we did a bit of a recap on the series because we knew we'd be leaving City Skylines 1 in favor of City Skylines 2 for just a little bit. And now that we're back, I highly recommend that you watch that video. It is linked at the top there. I'll also put it in the description. It'll be the most recent video on the playlist. So if you're new here, which I recognize there might be some new folks here watching the city because of City Skylines 2 content in Adawe Garno, which is going to come back at some point too. It's just really wanted to play some City Skylines 1 because I love this game. So let's hop out and take a quick little look at what we've done in the city before, just so we can kind of get a bit of an overview on where we are, and then we'll talk about what we're doing in this episode. So here we are right downtown in Northminster, kind of the central hub of our region, and I love this little area here. Tons of people using the trains. We've got City Hall and a fancy dancy hotel and a couple transit networks all the way through here. But let's pan out and take a look at where we are in the development of this city, because this is the downtown, but there's nothing else really around it. So that's something that we're going to be getting to in the coming episodes, just to kind of fill that out because it looks a little awkward. But we have a university over here, which was really fun to do. And then we have this really large park here with this awesome road connection into a port. These are all recent episodes that we've done. We have another port over here as well with some really good train network connections. We have our hospital area over on this side as well. Tons and tons of high rises in this zone. This is the downtown after all. And then over here, we have two little towns. We have this town over here, which is called Barbersville. There we go. And it's got a mega mall around it, and I really enjoyed this. Oh, we also have a casino over here. And oh, our countdown clock now has a QR code here, so we might need to change that out. But this is the town of Hope that Joy Build Cities built. Joy Build Cities and myself are a part of the Skylines 6, which is a multiplayer collaboration group, but we also have a joint Discord and do streams together sometimes. And we recently did a holiday stream on the 29th of December, which was a ton of fun. Highly recommend you check that out. It was back to back on the same city in City Skylines 1, which made me really want to play City Skylines 1 again. This was a really fun bridge to make. Really enjoy the color on that. And then we're going to go all the way over here to Oracle Lake, where we have some development out this way. And then we have our first city here. This was the starting tile that we did, and it is Port Roberts. Very, very fun. Indeed. Whoops, wrong button. And then we have our stadium area over here. This one is definitely one of my favorite things that we did in the city, particularly around this metro stop here and this train station. It is very, very fun, and I really enjoy seeing the amount of people run through here. And then what else do we got going on? We have some industries over here, and then our farming community over here, which we spent a little while on recently. Just some Main Street kind of vibes with some farms and some really fun waterfront vibes, including a canal area over here. So that is a very short recap of where we are and what we're going to be doing today. Well, you know, there's so many things that are left to do in this area, but something that was really kind of calling me for this episode is I really want to do just another small town. Just kind of start filling out areas with small towns. And one area that I was looking at that would be a really good spot for a small town is all the way over here. We have this road that we put out this way months ago, and I thought it'd be really fun to kind of start this small town over here. And if it's going to be over here, I mean, there's some really nice mountain ranges. How about we turn it into like a ski resort town? I think that'll be the next episode, the ski part of it, but let's build the town part of it today. So looking at what we need to do, well, we have our road through here. We connect up all the way over into this area where we have our main bridge across the river here, but we also have our highway connection right into the downtown. We have this little spur that is clearly going to go into this highway here, which we should probably connect up at some point into a interchange. Who knows the size of the interchange? It might just be a small one. But we also have a train track over here. I'm definitely going to bring a train into this town. That'll be the main transit connection into the area. But otherwise, I think we'll take this road, we'll run it right through and then connect it out of bounds over here, or at least like show that it goes out of bounds. And that's something that we're going to start with, and then we'll bring the train in, and then we'll start building the town up, and that'll probably be the episode, to be honest. However, before we start, a bit of a caveat here. I had to disable a bunch of my mods and assets and stuff, so if things look a little different, that's why I haven't done a mod audit kind of thing since City Skylines 2 has come out. So getting to do that, there might be some things that look different throughout the city if we're panning around. Just heads up. But yeah, let's dive into today's episode. So we have our highway here, which is just our country road highway. But I'm just going to use this road for now. We might change it up just to kind of get the feel of what we need to do. So I'm planning on just kind of using a lot of this space here in particular for the town. So let's swing this highway out. We'll have our exit off of the highway there. And then let's try and follow the trees, I guess, a little bit. And then we'll swing out to this contour line about there. Whoa. And then we will push it out of bounds. We'll see if we can actually connect out of bounds or not. And it looks like there is a connection out of bounds right here. So hopefully we'll see some cars use that. If not, that is okay. But yeah, this is going to work out great for our needs at this moment. But we might need to change it up down the line. So I said we're going to need that train connection in. Let's do that. We'll save the highway intersection for another day when we build out in this area, because we still have a really solid connection out through here. I've updated this little interchange here just to make sure that we have traffic flowing out this way, so that will work. It might bottleneck a little bit, but that's a problem for later. So let's get this rail out this way. This is going to be probably the trickiest part of this first half of the video, because the slope is pretty steep going through here. It's really gradual up to the highway, but then it gets pretty steep pretty quick. So what I'm thinking is we don't go below ground, which was my initial thought because of how the highway is more elevated than the rail. So what I'm thinking is we stay above ground, we get to that 2% grade, and then we dip the highway underneath the rail. So with that in mind, let's hop into a bit of a speed through. All right, so that was a fun rail connection to make, but I'm just checking the height of this rail bridge, and that's probably good enough. Let's let these cars fly down here, and we see that truck running right there. That is a great height for that truck. Let's see, that's about as good a view as we can get. Yeah, that's great. So now we just need to reslope the roads here to adjust to our needs. Now, I do move pretty fast in these episodes because it's kind of just the flow I've gotten into over the couple years that I've been doing this. However, if there's anything that I'm doing that, say, I skip over discussing, let me know in the comments and I can go over it in detail there, and I'll know for the next episode and I can share it there as well. So for example, I said we needed to get the rail to 2%. Why is that? Well, that's just kind of the rule of thumb with rails. At least that's my understanding for their slope. Roads are a bit more lenient. However, once you start approaching that 9% grade, that's when things start getting a little dangerous. So the rail is at 2%, exactly from here to here, so that's pretty solid. And then this is going to be a passenger rail line only, so it's a bit more flexible with that. So we've sloped the highway through here. That is awesome. You definitely see that a lot in the real world. Just a gradual slope too, which is really nice. And then we'll have our interchange running right through here. And that slope already is going to prove to be great because we'll be able to have this road running right over top of it. And you know what? I said I wasn't going to do an interchange, but we're right here, so we might as well, right? All right, so I wanted to use just a different style of bridge here. I wanted to check that the trucks were going to be okay, though. That truck has tons of clearance. Now, the right side of the lanes wouldn't have, sorry, the outside of the lanes wouldn't have as much clearance, but it looks like the trucks have a ton of clearance here. So just to change it up a little bit, I wanted to change the bridge style we're using, and I might need to readjust here just to get the middle of this archway there, and it looks like we have it. So very, very cool. So we are using a 4-lane road, so we are going to need to adjust the lanes through here. So we might need to adjust this to a 4-lane road all the way through. However, let's just start off with a basic 4-lane road, probably with a median. We'll use the painted median because that's a bit more realistic for these kind of rural areas. But let's kind of just drift off this way, and we'll build up the interchange over here. And then from this side, we'll do the same thing. And we'll just kind of, okay, so we have the rail over here. We have a town planned out this way, and then we have another town out that way. So why don't I try and just kind of split the difference, and we'll kind of go in the middle like that. So I could just go to home here and then click it out to about there. And that's all we'll do on this side for today. We will need to adjust the slopes though. So let's do that first. Click it in, 3.4%. That is more than good enough for vehicles. But let's readjust this here. So we have 4 lanes running all the way through here. I wouldn't even mind turning it down to 2 lanes because once we're in the middle of the interchange, an extra lane doesn't hurt. So how about, I could use this one. This is a 2-lane, but it has parking on it. It's not my favorite. We could go with, say, a larger graded 2-lane road, but let me just refresh my memory on these. So this is how this interchange works. I should probably change the roads here to be roads with sidewalks in case we do have people walking this way, which is quite a distance to walk. But I think it would be worth while doing that. So I've added those in now. And what we need to do now is take out the crosswalks using TMPE, which is another mod. And definitely a mod that is a ton of fun and worth it in City Skylines 1. So I'm just taking off the crosswalks here because I just don't think they're worth it. Perhaps we leave one crosswalk, in which case it's probably going to be this one to change sides. And then perhaps we have another crosswalk here. We'll put on this one as well. Those will be the only crosswalks. Oop, I missed one. And then we'll turn on cars going through notification. I'm not sure what it's specifically called, but it just helps with the traffic flow. Now, there isn't any stop signs on here or anything, but this is basically how this works. So this one only goes here because we already have the dedicated lane going this way. It's basically a roundabout, but without the round factor to it. But we can clearly upgrade this to a roundabout should we need to. This is going to be wide out in the open anyways, so easy to adjust into a roundabout should we need. We can also paint this right in the middle here with some pavement, and that will help a little bit with the look of this intersection. All right, very good. Very simple indeed. And what we can do as well is remove the crosswalks over on these areas here because they're not necessary at all. And we have one over here too. Yeah, remove those crosswalks. Okay, very good. We should probably up the speed as well on this kind of arterial road through here, and we'll push it up to 80 kilometers an hour. This is in kilometers an hour because this is a Canadian themed city. So we have this running right through here with a painted median because that allows us to have an easier addition of a lane in real life. And then right through here, we'll have kind of our branches off for the highway. And then we'll just kind of continue that 4-lane system through here because, well, you know what? Might take that back. We'll see. But now let's add the arms of the highway interchange here. It's just going to be a very simple diamond interchange. Diamond interchanges are definitely the easiest to make in the game, but they're also the most realistic and very, very common. Sometimes you'll see a parklo in this situation. However, I see us kind of developing this area a little bit more with some residential, seeing as how close we are with the downtown and this future town of Saint Jean. Or Saint Jean, depending on your dialect. So I'm just going to do a diamond interchange here. All right, so we have a very simple diamond interchange through here with some dedicated turning lanes and whatnot, but, you know, very straightforward, very simple. Not too much changes through here, but yeah, this is going to work out great. It's going to be a bit of a shortcut to our little town over here, but also it'll add an extra connection point for whatever we're doing out over here in the future. So let's get back to that train line, should we? There we go, 2% grade all the way through. So I have actually adjusted it so the rail is actually slightly sloped, which is fine, or the rail bridge. But we curve all the way up through here just to help out with the slope, and then we are starting to go a bit into the earth here, but that is okay because we can definitely adjust that as we go through here. So let's just try and follow the topography through this area. We'll try and kind of hug this contour line, and that should give us a good distance here. And then I'm thinking we're actually going to hit this at grade because something like this would be really cool. So let's connect that up like that, and then we'll kind of follow the train line a little bit, or sorry, the highway a little bit. So I'll just click that in right there, and let's see this connection point here. Yeah, that's really awesome. This isn't going to be that busy of a rail line, so I'm thinking we can leave the grade connection. That would be really, really cool. So let's slope this back to what we need it to be. 0.6, that's awesome. So we can actually adjust this a little bit further down, and we should be able to help the slope out entirely from here. We're going to dig into the earth a little bit, but that is a much better train line connection. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to adjust the hill here a little bit with some terrain work. All right, that was too perfect anyways, right? So we needed to mess it up a little bit. We'll get some trees through here just to kind of help the look of the train line a little bit, all the way up to here. Yeah, that's awesome. Alrighty. So now that we've hit the grade level here, oh, look at this, we're already slowing down. Uh-oh, I mean, this is quite the busy road here. Uh-oh, maybe we shouldn't have connected it because we're stealing traffic from the actual highway, which is a bit unrealistic, so I will disconnect this. This is too much. All right, well, we'll see that traffic kind of flow out eventually, but yeah, that was just a little too much for what we're hoping this highway would have been and whatnot. So we're going to run a rail parallel to this road till about here. So we have a really good tool for that. It's the network multi-tool. We will select parallel mode. We'll go to rails, which I might need to reselect it. Yep, there we go. And then I'm going to run parallel from here all the way until the highway starts to curve out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click plus or minus to move it out, and we will give ourselves a bit of room. Usually a rail has about 100 feet or 66 feet of right-of-way before the road right-of-way would be. So I think we pretty much hit our target. That's 30 meters, which is more than enough, but that's okay. All right, so now that we have this rail out here, we are finally ready to build our town. It has been a good little while since I've built something in this game, other than these roads, obviously, but let's plan out this town. So let's take a look at the terrain here, because this is going to definitely be of use. So every town needs a raison d'etre. Why does it exist? And, we can make this just, a ski resort, which was the idea. But, this town probably started off as a logging town, seeing as where we are with the mountains and whatnot and the trees. So that is something to keep in mind. Maybe we can have some cool remnants of some logging operations somewhere. But it seems pretty flat in here, so if this was to be a logging town, I would imagine that the town would have spawned up in this little valley here, where it would be easy to get access to these logs. So what I'm thinking is we have that railway connection here. We'll have the rail kind of run in to the town. Maybe it's converted from a cargo line now that it's a ski resort. So perhaps the train station can be over here, and then we'll have to actually cross the rail line again to get into the town. So this isn't going to be the main street of the town. This is going to be a highway. Maybe the original road kind of, see how we have this bump here? Maybe the original road went this way. That would be kind of cool to play out with maybe the rail line or something like that. So let's clear the trees from the area, and we'll level out some terrain a little bit. All right, so let's figure out how this is going to look. So I want the train line to kind of come in, like I said, right about here, position it maybe on a bit of an angle, but I also want the train station to be kind of like off of a main square, where we can have some village aspects to the town and whatnot, like the town square kind of thing. And then we can have some roads running off of that. So why don't we plan out that kind of town square kind of thing first? And we could use, say, a one-way road network. That'd be cool. So why don't we do that with some trees? And let's just make a little bit of a box here on a fun angle. So I think what we said is we'll have the town and maybe appear that this road kind of once went through it. So maybe we can try and line up with that a little bit. So this is close-ish. Yeah, so we can see that the town, for example, could have gone something along the lines of that, and then that. And they've readjusted things a little bit. So that is where the train station is going to be then, right off of this. So we have a lot of fun options for train stations, but I'm going to keep this really simple and small-ish. Don't need anything too crazy. Where are the... Oh, they're right here. Okay. This one is nice. This one is very nice. It's a good end-of-line station as well. We could make it this one, but the angle is a bit off for the station. Otherwise, we have like the historical train station, but this isn't necessarily a historical train station because we said it's a converted cargo line, but the cargo doesn't necessarily have to have been right here. So maybe they had the cargo up a little bit further or behind it. So yeah, let's get this right here, right in the middle somewhere, and we'll readjust the road as necessary. So we have our historical train station. That's awesome. That looks very, very cool. I can definitely see some people with their snowboards and skis right in this train station area. Speaking of the cargo, we could say still have a cargo rail station, which is definitely useful. So we could throw that right behind it, for example. That would be pretty cool. I actually don't love this. I'm gonna move this to a different location, but I definitely want to still have a cargo rail station in this town because one, it'll have a purpose of maintaining the town a little bit with stuff, but also I think it could add a bit more appeal to the town, industrially speaking, I guess. So let's get it to that height, and then we can run the cargo kind of off of here. We can end the rail here. Yeah, this is going to be, that's a good spot for it. So what we'll do is we'll just delete this road that we placed down, and then we'll have this road, or this rail, running right off of the highway. So we have this industrial road here. We can come right off of it like this, come right down, and then maybe we'll take a bit more of a gradual angle here to reconnect, and we can readjust this corner too because that's a little steep as well, or a little sharp. Okay, we'll do that. Very good. Whoopsies, wrong road type. Let's flip that around. All right, so this is a cool start to this area here. Let's just level out the terrain a little bit around the station. That would make sense to do. And then if we need any industry out this way, or maybe we can play out that old logging kind of idea. Maybe that logging is still active in this area a little bit. We can run it off of this cargo station. So let's connect up this rail line now. All right, this is a great start here. Let's add some trees through here just to kind of fill out the look a little bit more. And we definitely need to make sure that we have an old kind of right-of-way through here, just so we remember in case this doesn't get built today. But let's just go with a old rural road. We'll go dirt road, and then we'll just kind of have a nice simple curve from about here, like that. Just so I remember that that road exists, we can adjust as necessary. Perhaps we can have some development out this way, for example, and maybe a bridge across the rails as well. That would be cool. But yeah, let's build out this town square a little bit. So let's grab the road that we were using, and let's find a good spot for it. It can be a little large, but let's maybe go 16 units, and then we'll go another 16 units. Okay, decided to go with 18 units there. It's a bit easier, or a bit larger, sorry. So I leveled it all out. We need to level out this terrain because I kind of want this town square to be all flat and uniform. And then we can start dealing with the hills shortly. All right, very, very fun. I really enjoyed this. So what's going to be in this town square? Well, let's take a quick little look around the plazas and whatnot, because we do have some really cool things to kind of add in. But you know, I'm picturing more like just an open plaza kind of area. So I'm going to take a look through the unique buildings because maybe there's one that I've missed that would be really nice. All right, so we have our little kind of plaza park area that definitely during the height of tourist season is bumping. We have this Christmas tree plaza. I know it's not really a winter map, but and you know, the Christmas tree is decorated and whatnot for winter, but maybe they were shooting a movie here or something like that. But I really like this plaza here. I thought that was really cool. It's a bit different than the other Christmas tree plaza. But we also have some tourist stands and stuff like that. Over through here, we have a smaller cafe, probably an older one. A place for some food trucks where people can run with their snowboards and get down here for some food. We also have a bit more of like a lodge. Maybe this is tourist information kind of building, and then just a larger plaza, as well as an ice cream stand, which is maybe an ice cream stand in the winter, perhaps. In the summer. Perhaps it's something different in the winter. But I thought this was a good kind of combo of things. So let's connect up the road. I guess that's probably the next kind of step. But where should it connect into with our road system? Should we kind of just follow the rail here, and then you emerge right in here, and then you're forced to go this way? Should we kind of come right at it in the middle? Should we connect up here? That's probably the best connection point, in my opinion, is this little node, because then you drive by the information stand, which might be useful. So let's figure out a connection point for the roads here. Maybe this potential connection point here is the one that we used for the turnoff across the rails. So let's use a 4-lane road, question mark? Yes, let's do that. Let's use 4-lane road with median. And then what we'll do is we'll find this node right here. And then what we'll do is we'll just have a slight angled connection. Right about, I guess this node is probably the best bet to connect into. So maybe we go a bit further over. Yeah, that's probably good. And then we have this old right-of-way right here, which would make sense why this road would be here like that. And let's see, we should probably leave it at this country road just for the speed limit things. And then we probably need to have a dedicated turn lane then. So right here, we'll have some dedicated turning lanes all the way through. This one we'll leave as well. And this one, honestly, I think we're probably good, right? So we need this to be a light as well. That is important. We'll have dedicated turning lanes, and we just need to turn off the crosswalks. All right, so now that we're right here, let's use this painted median. Whoopsies, wrong button. Let's use this one, and we'll figure out a nice smooth connection into here. Now, things don't need to be that gridded. However, I would like to keep some sort of semblance of a grid nearby and kind of continuing connection points through. But in this case, we'll have this major road run right in on a clean curve. Glad I caught that. Right in there, so we see how that lit up. Perfect. Connected in. Great angle here. For this, and then we can have a ton of offshoots going off of here, but we don't want to go too far up the hill, because that is where the skiing is going to take place, right? So we have this road running through here, and then we have another one. This road running in this direction is just going to be a normal road. Let's use a road with some trees in the middle just to change it up. And we'll continue it out this way. I'm not sure how we're going to approach that yet. I just really wanted to have this complete intersection here so that we can clean it up. All right, very cool. So we have our dedicated lane going this way, and then we have probably a dedicated lane going the other way. So let's make sure that we have that. I mean, in a way though, both lanes should be open, but we'll separate it for sake of traffic flow. Whoops. And yeah, so that is awesome. Let's now kind of think that we'll probably need a couple roads around here for some commercial buildings around the train station. So let's go with normal roads with parking. All right, so we have this road running right into here. That's great. We have to turn this way. That is fine. So you're a tourist, you come here via train, you're probably going to need some places to stay as well, some commercial assets like I mentioned. So we'll need some hotels and stuff as well. let's bring another straight road out. Let's just maybe add a few roads around, then we'll look at some hotels and some commercial buildings. Yeah, this is great. So I have in mind parking as well, but let's start with some hotels. Let's look at these because honestly, like, that is what I picture when I'm thinking of a ski resort town. But where are the hotels again? Are they in parks? Yeah, they're in parks. So another thing, a promenade would be really cool as well to have, a pedestrian-only area. That would be cool as well. But let's keep these hotels kind of centralized. This one is just screaming ski resort hotel to me. And there's a couple other ones that we could get. Maybe the smaller city hotel would work. And then maybe up in the mountains we could do some of these, which we'll do next episode. We're just going to set up the main kind of area today. But that's about it through here. But then there's also these ski lodges, which are really cute, which can go up in the mountains as well. But then in the unique buildings area, there is the spa, which is really cool. Yeah, the spa hotel. And then there is the Santa Claus workshop too. That's awesome. We should definitely include this. That's really cool. But I thought there was another one. But anyways, the spa hotel is something that is really fancy. We should definitely include, but just not in this main kind of area here. Services are something else we're going to need. So yeah, this is going to be its own little town, but we're going to start with the hotels and parking and commercial. Yeah, awesome. I really like these hotels. This one's a bit bigger, which is really good. It's a newer one. We have an older one. And again, maybe a bit more of a budget hotel. So we do have intercity trains turned off. They're probably still just coming in. I just turned it off, but they reminded me to get the train line in. So we'll get the train line in from here. There we go, right up front. And then we will bring it right down into the central station of the downtown. That's probably going to be the only connection point for this train. Just an express, basically, to the downtown. We'll see how many trains are on it. It's probably a good idea. So we'll need to go to transit, which, oh my goodness, forgive me. Oh, we're already in it. My goodness. Forgive me. There we go. Train line 3. There we go. We have 5 trains. Okay, let's only push it down to... Let's start with 2. We'll see how many passengers we need to adjust for later. Might as well switch the train type as well to be a bit maybe more of a thematic train. This one looks nice. Let's do this one. Okay, so we need parking and tons of parking. People will be coming into this area with their cars, so let's make sure that we have some extra parking. All right, that's some good parking by the train station. I'm sure we'll get some more parking. You know what? This is a great spot for parking right here. Yeah, we'll get a couple parking lots right here and here. Very good. I just don't like having parking along here and then people having to cross the grass to get to the parking. That doesn't make sense. So, wow, look at how many people are already here. This is very, very fun. So I think now we're at the services point of the episode. So let's start at the top here, and we have garbages, and we already have power and water because we're using the 81 tiles mod and whatnot. So garbages. You know what? We could actually get a connection point for this road somewhere, and then we could have some of these more non-fun service points in this area. So we can have like the recycling center over here, for example. That would be cool. So Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just readjusting this initial road that we planned out, and probably make this first section paved. That would most likely be the case. However, we can leave the other one to be the rest of it to be dirt. That's okay with me. And yeah, this makes sense. So let's get that recycling center out this way. We're probably good on garbage, but let's just add it for a couple, just to add to the theme a little bit, but also it'll, raise the value, and it's a bit realistic. So I'm actually going to make this part industrial as well. Alright, so we have our recycling plant over here. I added a warehouse over here with some commercial goods just to kind of help out a little bit. But, this is a little far away from everything. We'll probably get another connection point into this town another time. But what other services does a town need? Well, we could add in the post office. The post office would make sense, especially if you're here for an extended stay or something. The post office definitely would be a key feature of this town. So I like putting them on corners to kind of indicate, or start using the building's positioning for its placement. So in this case, it works really well right here, which is awesome. It is kind of like, pretty centralized, but perhaps back in the day that was where that was fine. But let's get a healthcare office in. I mean, snowboarders are going to get into their accidents. It happens. So let's definitely look at adding in a healthcare office. So let's maybe look at extending these roads a little bit then too, because I definitely don't want the healthcare facility right on the main street here. However, I don't really mind it being just off of it. So let's put our the area that we flattened out to good use, and let's extend this road out to about there, and then let's grab this road. We'll extend it out about the same, and we're on a bit of a hill here now on this side, so that's fine. I might actually just level it out. There we go. And then we need to continue the grid here. So we can change up the grid size. We can say just go right about here, and that's probably good. I think that makes sense to do. Even though we were using a 18 grid here, this is 18 units. So half of it would be 9 units. So we could do something like that. That would be maintaining our grid position. But like I said, I don't want to make this entirely gridded. I just think this kind of centralized area makes sense to be gridded, and then we'll definitely start kind of curving off a little bit more. But I want to get one more in here, so that's 18 units. Let's go down now and bring this right down through here. Oh, we're off of our grid. This is something that I'm very, I'm a big stickler on this stuff. All right, so now that we have a few roads planned out, let's add in a healthcare facility. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of populate the stuff with the services, start getting some buildings down, and then we'll have to leave it for the day. So like I said, we'll get the healthcare facility in, and we could go with like a larger one, which is kind of sadistic in a way. People will probably hurt themselves skiing and stuff, so good to have this anyways. But let's get this off of this road here. I think that would make a bit more sense for the healthcare facility, and we'll go with the smaller one because we're optimists. People aren't going to hurt themselves skiing. Oh, we should probably get a medical helicopter depot out this way. That kind of is thematic with ski resorts and stuff. So I'm just going to place this over here for now just so I don't forget, because that's a great option. And then we need more parking. So we have our own custom parking assets, but I'll probably use it for this case. I'm going to try and stick to the vanilla ones as much as possible. But because this is a medical facility, I'm thinking that we could probably go with a custom one because we can be a bit more picky with the actual assets that we're using. So let's go 4x4 here. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, you know, optimizing space a little bit. And then we'll run a path right behind it. We'll turn off our node, and then we'll also turn off guidelines, and we'll just go right behind this, and this will kind of border everything that we need. It also acts as a pathway, obviously. Yeah, this is going to be great. And then we can add to this area in a bit. So that was healthcare. We don't necessarily need death care, child care, or elder care. However, I will add in some elder care, or sorry, some death care out this way. Perhaps we can have a church nearby. And this was a former road, so we can get this maybe here, saying that it was probably just slightly off of the old road that was running out this way. So in which case, let's line it up with this dirt road, and that is pretty good. So right off of this intersection too, that's great. Now we have some death care out this way as well. So back to the town here. Let's go to fire. Fire is definitely important. Let's go with a modern fire truck facility, and we can use this rail area here, like I said, as a bit of an industrial kind of area, or, you know, more industrialized area. And having this right here makes sense. This road is dedicated for the fire trucks to turn around on, and we should probably remove parking on it then. It's something to consider. So let's just remove parking here, so that way there's no cars parked in front of the fire station. And then they can easily slip out onto the major roads. So there we go, fire. Let's go. Do we need any disaster? I don't think so. I think we're probably good. Though a radio mast would make sense, but yeah, I don't know. We can't really put the wires over top of the rails or anything, but we can get that in later. But we definitely need to go to police. Let's go with an older building for the police station, and we could position it right here. Yeah, why not? That's actually pretty neat to have it centralized. And we're probably going to need parking for it. But how about we put the parking behind the building? So this way we save frontage space. And let's see, we're probably about 5 units back from Rosemary Street. So let's go 5x4. Oh, other way, let's maybe go 4x5. Perfect. And this is where all the police vehicles are going to be. Actually, let's go with a 4x4. Yeah. There we go. And then we'll do is we'll just fence this area off. This is for the police. Very good. So we have the police building right through here, and we have their parking, and then they just have to walk over here to get to their vehicles. And we should probably get another little fence in right here, right behind the area. And yeah, I mean, this works out great, just like that. Fantastic. And then we have a post office here, which could definitely use some extra parking. So let's go. With this, we'll just use a thin 2x2, 2x4 parking maybe. Very good. And what else should we add in here? Definitely a couple of trees in here. That would definitely fill out the space a little bit. We've been using these pine trees for this, so we'll kind of mix it up a little bit. Awesome. I really like this building here. This modern kind of style works fantastically. And then over here, a bit more of a rundown diner. Let's leave that there too. That's perfect for kind of like that off main street kind of feel. All right, so moving down the line, that was police. We definitely need a bank though, so let's get this bank in, and we'll have this bank right beside this hotel. That kind of works, or should it be on this side? No, let's put it on this side. And we'll have this right there. We have this little path connection on them too. That was my thinking with this little road placement. So let's bring this one right over here. Let's pull it back a little bit. There we go. That's really good. Hopefully we can pull this one back just to fill out the concrete. Very fun. And we do have a path connection here. Let's run this path connection all the way through. Let's use this little space here for this path. There we go. And then what we can do is we can run a little path right here because there's that little concrete jut out. And I wonder if we can squeeze in another one. Okie dokie. So let's add in a few trees like we talked about. And now let's move down the line a little bit further. So do we need any bus hubs or anything like that? I mean, honestly, like a little bus station wouldn't be bad. We could get like some shuttle buses moving around. So that could be cool. We do have that little compact bus station, and this is a great spot for it, but we would need to cross the trees here, so maybe not. Maybe we move that over to here by the parking lot then. Oh, again, we need to cross the trees. So perhaps right over here beside, yeah, right here. This works out great. We're not too far away, right across the street from the post office. That would make sense. But our other options would be over in this kind of zone, which is a bit out of the way. So I don't think that would be necessarily perfect. So I think this is our best option here for these little shuttle buses leaving into the hills. So there we go. Let's level out the terrain. Fantastic. So let's just get a little teeny commercial building right beside it, just like that. And then we're probably good. We'll detail it up in a little bit as well. But let's get some more commercial buildings right through here. We'll see what pops up. But otherwise, I think we are pretty solid through here with services. I don't think we're going to throw education out this way. If anything, we'll throw a small elementary school out this way, but that's probably it. Let's go through the parks really quickly. I mean, I would really love to get a promenade and plazas area through here, but we'll deal with that at another time. Anything else that's kind of screaming out at me? I'm just going to do a bit of a little run through here. So one thing I'm definitely going to add in, coming to think of it, is another sidewalk cafe, just in this little park area here, because we have these paths and it makes sense to do that. The restaurants are too big for what we have, so we'll do the sidewalk cafe, and we can definitely add this in here. And then I'm going to use the brick one because it definitely seems like maybe it's an older building in the area, maybe it's historical or something like that. And what we'll do is we'll just move it off beside the bank, and then that's a great little connection. So we'll just connect this up right here, very simply. It's very simple like that, and this would be a great little spot here as well. Then we have this little space here. I'm curious to see what can pop up in this area. However, it would be of note that we definitely need to use maybe like the farmers market kind of thing for that, which would mean a district. So let's get those districts in. All right, so we have Castle Mountain. So this is a play off of a real place near Whistler, Ontario, which is a very popular skiing destination. You might remember from the Vancouver 2010 Olympics, a lot of the skiing events took place. But it's a place named from the area Castle Towers Mountain. But there's also this area over here, which maybe we can turn into something fun and touristy. So I thought that was a fun little kind of local nod to the area, because this is the set in British Columbia. So then we have Valley Heights because we're in a valley. That was the original name. So we have the Green Cities residential buildings in Castle Mountain Village, and then we have normal residential, but we also have the Green Cities commercial in this kind of area. So organic and local produce. So then this way we can kind of split things up a little bit differently. And then we also got this building in here. It is the ice cream shop that is absolutely perfect for that area. And then right here we have a couple buildings here. The restaurant is great. I do like that. I'm going to delete this one, even though it's probably good thematic wise, but just to change things up a little bit, we'll switch it out. But I really wanted to get some of those fun commercial buildings in here from the Green City. So let's see what kind of pops up in there, and from organic and local produce. And then right through here as well, we can get some more organic and local produce down this main street area. All right, so here we have the start of our town. So we have our, this one's a bit more of like a residential area. I know I said I might go industry, but it's a bit too close to the town center to not have some apartments. Maybe there's some timeshares in there or something like that. But also it's a great place to live. I mean, it's not that far of a commute either, but we have our hotel, we have our bank, we have some cafes, we have our main square right beside the train station. A bit more high density in this little pocket here with an office building and this little market area, which I thought kind of played well with the parking lot nearby. A little sneaky little path behind there. But then over here we have our bus stop and our ice cream shop. We have our post office, a couple of commercial buildings. Oh, I love this one there. That is fantastic. We have to keep that one for sure. A couple of restaurants. And then we have a little old restaurant there, or cafe. We have our clinic. And then a couple other fast foodish, kind of healthy fast foodish places through here, as well as a little market stand. And looks like some electric parking. So yeah, a lot more to do in this town. I definitely want to get some more restaurants in here. That's definitely something that is looking my way. But I just wanted to start with this, get a bit more residential out here. I feel like this kind of residential is going to play really well in this theme that we're going for. But yeah, this is just a fun little start today. And then we also have this little intersection here where we have our old motel through here, along with an old diner and an old church. So I think we got a lot in today, and we set ourselves up nicely for some fun building in the future. So let's kind of get a nice screenshot for the build. And I hope you have a wonderful day, folks. I'll talk to you soon. Peace out.